Yo guys, I hope you're all good. On today's video, I'm going to be doing a bike check of my brand spanking inspired Fourplay team. As you can see, it's quite a bright colour. We've carried on the theme from last year, and the guys at Inspired asked me to choose a colour, and I've gone all out and gone for this bright pink colour. Probably can't even see on the camera just how bright it is, but I'm really stoked with how it's come out and it looks cool. Definitely not going to be missing me in a hurry. Pretty much the same as last year. We've got the 20mm bolt through at the front, which is super stiff. We've got the 12mm bolt through axle at the rear, which again is really stiff. It worked perfect last year, so we've kept it as it is. So geometry wise, same as before. Off the top of my head, it is a 994 wheelbase, which is pretty short, but not the shortest out there. Plus 15mm bottom bracket, again, pretty high, good for clearance and stuff when you're doing hooks and stuff. Chainstay length is 362mm, pretty good in the back wheel, still good for the sort of rolling stuff that I do. Not too tight for Manny 180s, which is obviously a favourite thing of mine to be doing these days. And a 73-degree head angle. Obviously doing this off the top of my head here, I'm not checking notes. But yeah, same as last year, worked mint, so if something's broke, it's not worth, something's not broke. No point in trying to fix it. Next thing, to move on to the wheels. One of the main differences from last year is I'm running a Industry 9 Hydra Hub, which as far as I know has 690 engagement points, which is absolutely insane. Really good for trials. It's obviously got like minimal pickup and sort of lag, which is really important when we're doing gap jumps and stuff. It just means like pretty much every piece of energy that you put through the pedals is translated into forward momentum, so that's pretty cool. It's literally not slipped or skipped a beat so far, and it sounds mint as well. That's obviously built onto the Santa Cruz Reserve rim, which has been absolutely bulletproof. Pretty much had to do nothing to these all year. I'm also running with this, a muck-off puncture tubeless setup, and in the rear tyre, different to last year, I'm actually running a rim packed tyre insert, which I never really tried before, but it just gives you even more freedom to absolutely smash your back wheel into things without really having to worry about pinching or getting any punctures. It's been super eye-opening to be able to do bumps, bump 180s upstairs and stuff without having to stress about getting a puncture. I've got the muck-off tubeless valves in there as well, and all looks pretty sweet. The Conti Air King McCaskill tyres that we've all been running for pretty much the past 5 years, I've actually got some limited edition ones of these, which is with the sort of white grey logos, and I think these actually glow in the dark, which is a little nice touch as well. I've not been running an insert on the front just because it's cool to keep the weight down a little bit, and it just doesn't get quite as much abuse, so decided not to go with it. It's something I might try in the future though. So moving on to the brakes, obviously pretty important as a trials rider. Been carrying on with the Magura MT7s with an HC3 lever setup along with 203mm rotors. Some people have been opting with 180s, but I just quite like to have that extra power that you get with the 200s, and we've even been riding 220s on e-bikes, so it's funny how these beginning to look normal, whereas a couple of years ago I always thought they looked massive. So moving on to the drivetrain, we've got the SRAM GX Eagles in 175mm length. Got the integrated Inspired bash guard and chainring, which is 22 tooth, and a 16 tooth Trial Tech sprockets, which again is just getting that balance to be able to get some good power down and get up to speed for run-ups, but also still be good for gap jumps. That's with a Trial Tech tensioner as before, and the new Trial Tech stroke KMC chain, which is new for this year. Looks pretty beefy, and so far so good with that. Pedal wise, I've got the Crank Brothers Stamp 7 in size large. I've been riding larges on my trials bike, but smalls on my e-bike, which is kind of the opposite of what people were expecting. The reason for that is on the trials bike, it's nice to have like some nice big pedals for catching whips and crank flips and stuff like that. Whereas on the e-bike, it's quite nice to have a little bit more clearance. It just means you're not clipping your pedals off rocks and logs and stuff like that when you're doing climbs. So that's the reasoning for that. The seat's a little bit different from last year, and this is a lighter weight plastic setup. I've actually modified it slightly and chiseled away some of the plastic just so I can get it slammed and nice and tight to the tyre like I'm used to, because I think it just kind of looks cool. So moving back up to the front for the steering, I'm back on the Inspired team bars, and I'm also running the new Trial Tech higher rise stem, which I've had on my bike for about a year now. I think they're available now, and as far as I know, it's a 110mm stem on a 35-degree rise. I find it's pretty nice because I still quite like to do all the trialsy stuff. It's really nice for the back wheel, up the fronts and stuff like that, but it doesn't really limit you when you're doing spins and Manny 180s and stuff like that. So for me, it's perfect. Grip wise, I've been running Danny's signature lizard skin grips. I really like these because I've not always got on with lock-on grips. I run my hands quite close to the end of the bars, and the knuckles that you'd usually get on lock-on grips would really hurt my hands. So the fact that these have only got them on the inside while still being super stiff has helped loads because I don't get sore hands. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I say before, absolutely stoked with the way it's come out. I was a little bit anxious about seeing the pink bike. I wasn't sure whether it was a little bit too bright, but now I've seen it, I'm super stoked to have it, and looking forward to going to get some clips in it.
That's a really good bike.
Oh.